Okay, welcome to the New Legend podcast. So again, today, this episode is a little bit different, a little special. It's called one of our shorts, Expo Shorts. So we were at the Overland Expo, and we had the opportunity to do a couple episodes. They're not live when you're listening now, but live from the Expo. So, good friend of ours, Will Marshal, who curates Forge Overland on Instagram and many other things. He's just like super plugged into the overland and adventure world, and just a real interesting, cool guy. So we had the opportunity to sit down with him. So that's this episode. We were sitting in a Cricket camper trailer from Taxa Outdoors. So check it out on YouTube and check out Will's work on Forge Overland and a lot of other stuff he's got doing. But this episode's brought to you by FSR. So we're stoked to work with the team at FSR. They have just such an innovative, high quality approach to rooftop tent design. I've had a lot of different tents, more traditional designs. And so I was a little apprehensive about checking out a new kind of, not a paradigm, but a new approach to the common rooftop tent. And man, really just fell in love with it. We spent a week camping in it in Moab. And their tri-layer high country rooftop tent is cool. The high country 80. So this thing is huge. It sleeps like, they say 3, but it really can sleep. If you're a family of up to 5, you could definitely sleep all 5 of you. But really our best and most fun rooftop tent experience to date. So check them out. Go FSR. And yeah, give them a check, man, and just look at the Adventure Series, High Country Series, and we'll do some more episodes with them in the future, but also checking out their trailers. Just a fun company, great group of people. So check them out and enjoy the episode. Okay, welcome to the New Legend podcast, where we explore and celebrate vintage 4x4s, family, culture, adventure, and being a man in the 21st century. Just the adventure lifestyle. We are here coming at you from the Overland Expo. Mm-hmm. We're here with a good friend of ours, Will Marshal, right?
Yep.
Will, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Do we have your likeness to be in this video?
Yes, do we have your likeness? I think it's permission to use your likeness.
Use your likeness.
Will, and here with Luke as usual.
Hello.
So these are cool little episodes. We're going to do just a 15-minute kind of like bird's eye view into the overland world. And Will is just a kind of a definitely like knowledgeable mover shaker guy in this realm. So what would we I think best known for? Your curation of the Forge Overland account.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've done such a great job at that.
Yeah.
So let's just start first. I know this is a mini episode, so go quick. But what did it mean to drive to you?
Like why did I make the page kind of thing?
No. To just drive. When you were 16,
getting your license.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I was always in cars as a kid. I grew up in a Wrangler. And,
nice. Okay, cool.
My mom had this baby blue 91 Wrangler.
That's rad.
And I always remember sitting on my dad's lap doing fire trails in Michigan, Kentucky.
Nice.
And the cars have always been part of my life. Cool. Dirt bikes, motorized, everything.
So was it a big deal for you when you got your license? The kind of freedom.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was finally opportunity to go do things that I wanted to do, and vehicles have always been a way of expressing myself, so it was another opportunity to do that as well.
So what was your first vehicle?
A Wrangler.
Wait, was it a Wrangler?
Yeah, it was a silver TJ.
Oh, okay.
That's so rad.
Yeah.
And you don't have it anymore?
No, I got rid of it.
Did you have some good adventures in it, though?
Oh, yeah, I had a blast. Pretty much all this started from that.
Yeah.
I had started an off-road club, a Jeep club in Kentucky, and we had grew it into several members across Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and one thing led to another, and here we are.
In this Expo, Expo is just an event, but adventuring, this is a big part of your life.
Yeah, it is. I pretty much, this is my life now.
That's
at this
awesome.
point. Yeah.
And think about that. So just from, was it your mom that had the Wrangler?
Yep.
Like from your mom getting that Wrangler, what that the inspiration that brought into your life and the shaping role that played, like we love that, man. And that's so much that we talk about with owning a vintage 4x4 or owning just something fun, man. Even if it's a cool Astro van that we saw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw the white one you guys are talking about.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
sweet,
fresh. And then, so as someone who's in this realm, what do you think is the future of driving? Where is this going with autonomous driving? Where's the overland world in 20 years?
I don't know.
I know.
That's a hard one to talk about.
Without getting emotional.
Yeah, there's so much stuff with the electric vehicle stuff. I mean, Rivian's right over there.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's going to be the future, and probably in 10 years, most of the vehicles are going to be either hybrids or actual electric vehicles.
Right. And do you feel like, because Luke and I talk about this thing, and I get riled up, and Luke challenges me to calm down. But it seems like the biggest hurdle to that technology is you're 150, 200, not just miles, because like when we talk about range on an electric vehicle, I don't think they're judging that range by I'm in 4-wheel drive, climbing hills, descending hills. I know there's regenerative braking, blah blah blah. But do you envision there'll be just charging stations out in the middle of nowhere?
Well, I think right now the biggest issue that everyone has a problem with is infrastructure.
Yes,
because,
of course.
I mean, if you look back 100 years when Model Ts were roaming around everywhere, there weren't gas stations every place, but people were still taking Model Ts out and going places they had no business being in.
That's right.
So I think it's just a transition, and battery technology has advanced so far. I mean, you guys remember 10 years ago, every battery in a drill was nickel cadmium, and you couldn't get 30 minutes of use out of it.
That's true.
And I forget who it is, but there's a bell chart that says that every 16 months the technology doubles and the price gets cut in half.
Yes.
So
it's coming for you.
It's coming, and I don't, and probably like you, I don't mind so much the electric thing. I'll embrace it. I love the raw power and feel of a V8. It's interesting. Audrey, who's our summer intern, not necessarily a car person, but she got into one of our customers' trucks that has a 525 horse LS3, and she got in the truck and they started it, and she's like, "Man, I got it. You can feel it. You feel it in your body.
Soul.
Not just this. She's because she did. She's the way it smells, the way it looks, this interior, but also just this feeling of power, to go it's got a Lopi idle, and just she's oh man, this is cool. So,
that's funny.
But I can get around the electric thing.
It's going to be tricky to see it come into this world. And just the range and the capabilities and the uses. I mean, you were talking the other day about because in electric cars, when you let off the gas, there's no idle. You're braking at that point. So the rock crawling aspect, there's just going to be a whole slew of challenges.
And power generating struts. As they're moving,
true.
There's just so much cool stuff, and I think that's all good. And I guess maybe this is bringing me hope as we're talking, because I think the more autonomous the cars are, the wild card then is humans, and so they're going to restrict driving privilege and opportunity for people definitely in cities. I think we'll see that in the next. We're already seeing it. I
don't think that'll happen here.
You don't. What do you mean here?
In the United States.
Really?
I think
too big of a car culture?
Yeah, much.
But I think
much
in
so.
cities, for example, in New York City, they just closed off a bunch of streets and they're just making them pedestrian and bikes, and so I hope you're right.
I think most of it's going to be a cultural shift, because I don't know how familiar you are with the lobbying that Ford and GM and the oil companies did in the 30s. They started ripping up all the intercity rail systems in cities. So between that and Standard Oil trying to get petroleum as a standard fuel for vehicles, they pushed cars being the culture. And so now that's been ingrained in the United States.
There's a lot of power
really
money that wants to see them succeed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just think it's I don't know. I just feel like it's a powerful expression of freedom and a rite of passage to get that freedom that you talked about. And one cool thing, I think, absolutely, no matter what, you're going to be free. You're not going to have autonomous take me up the Rubicon Trail.
Right.
That's just silly.
And no one wants to do that anyway.
No one wants to. You just walk it, just hike it.
Yeah.
So I think even if you have to put it in manual mode and go, okay, now this is allowed. Worst case scenario, we can go explore. And so what you'll probably find is if we keep public land open, is that there's maybe a continued growth in this segment, because people do want to have some expression of freedom and I don't know.
I think you're right with that, and I don't see this slowing down at all. Just because we're now in a place where we're having this renaissance of big V8s.
Yes, isn't that crazy?
Loud exhaust, lifted vehicles, everything like that.
Huge horsepower and
crazy
efficiency.
power numbers.
Yeah,
Like even in someone was talking about the new Ford Ranger, like the 2.3 is an EcoBoost, 280 horsepower, 300 something foot-pounds of torque,
something like that.
and that's a very minor tune. There's already handhelds out for that you can gain 80 horsepower and 100 foot-pounds of torque out of a 2.3 liter.
It's a lot of power.
You're right. It's like this wonderful renaissance. But is it the final flash before like the star burns out? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Good. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't think
Giving
so.
this guy hope, man.
Yeah.
He's got some joy in his life now.
Okay, so let's. You're pretty dialed into the Overland world. Let's talk about the evolution of Overland. Because some dude yesterday, he's like, I personally think the Overland thing is going to die out, and it'll just be called camping again. What do you think?
I think that overlanding got attached to vehicle-based adventure travel.
Yes.
And
Inappropriately so, or like?
I think it's just the name that got stuck
Yeah.
with it. There isn't any place left on the planet to explore that someone hasn't been to.
Right.
The only time that you're ever going to find that is walking someplace.
Yep.
And
Or the ocean.
or the ocean.
Or the ocean. That's right. The
But
depths.
That'd be
Water.
overwatering.
Overwatering.
That's right.
But I don't think it's going to go away. And I have a pretty good relationship with a friend of mine that's at Ford Motor, and they're taking the overlanding segment very seriously.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, with the Super Duty and the Ranger and the Bronco coming out, they understand that this is a very hot new segment, and they want to be part of it. They understand that this is a community that they need to be a part of.
And to get young people involved, because that's the key, man. Is like we talk about this a lot in the podcast, and like probably 50-50 we talked about either from a parent's perspective or young people's perspective that say like I either have no interest in driving, I'll just text my friends and like whatever, use social media and like Uber or take public transportation, or there are like the other half's like, no, I can't wait to get my license. So getting young people stoked on like cool vehicles is super important for the industry and for the movement.
Yeah, and you have also a whole shift of like a cultural change, because all of our parents were all about the RV thing.
Yes,
let's take a
that's how I
bus
grew
to a
up,
camping spot.
Yeah.
Or, whatever it is. We all grew up camping, and now you have millennials, which are your primary money holders in the States now. They still want to do that stuff, but they also have a downsized lifestyle.
Right.
All this age group doesn't want possessions; they want experiences.
Yes.
But at the same time, they understand you have to have certain tools to get to different places.
Yeah.
So now you have everyone that still wants to go do the camping with their family, their kids, whatever it is, but you've got Super Duties or Sprinter vans or whatever it is.
Or even like the smaller crossovers.
Yeah.
Like we see that growing a lot, like the RAV4s, Outbacks, like Foresters, those kind of vehicles.
Yeah, and the whole point is that you get out and you do it. It doesn't matter what
right.
you have. You pick what tool you need to accomplish the task what you're trying to do.
Yes. So what is what do you think are next kind of steps for yourself in this industry? You said like this is now kind of your life.
Yeah.
You earn a living from being in this world of overlanding, adventuring, vehicles, all this stuff. What is next for you, man? What is
go deeper and deeper and deeper.
I like it.
Yeah. At one point it's going to just be like the entirety of my life.
That's great.
And I'm okay with that.
And go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, give us a quick breakdown of the rig you have now and kind of the setup.
I have a 2017 Power Wagon, a Ram Power Wagon.
Which is sweet, right?
Yeah.
You still love it?
Oh, I love it.
They're
It's the
amazing.
first vehicle that I've had that I truly, absolutely love. Like I
Cool.
can walk outside and look at it and say like, oh, this is my truck.
And talk about how they're equipped like really well.
Yeah.
built.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I make jokes. I call it the Rubicon XL.
Yes,
Because,
okay.
I mean, it's got front and rear lockers, a disconnecting front sway bar, and a suspension travel that's longer than the stock truck. It's ready to go.
And at the same time, still like a pretty good tow rating.
Yeah.
Is it like a 1500 or is it 25?
It's a 2500.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So, I mean, it doesn't have the best payload capacity because it has soft coil springs. It has a 1,500-pound payload.
Okay.
Which get eaten up pretty quickly when you start sticking stuff on there.
That is true. Like a rat. Do you have some of that? Like, have you started kitting it out already?
I've got rock sliders on it.
Okay.
That was 300 and some pounds. I have a Go Fast camper on the back, and once you put bigger tires on, those are heavy too. So I have to be really cognizant of how heavy the truck gets because I don't want to get over a gross vehicle and get in trouble with the law.
Which is actually I'm glad you're talking about that because Scott Brady talks a lot about this. Like, people don't pay it. Like they don't realize that a new like a Wrangler, like a Rubicon, has a very low payload capacity.
It's very easy to get over it.
Yeah, and it's just like at some point it does become unsafe when you're just stacking. Like people are not aware. Like I'll put
just
gas fuel
bumpers,
tanks on my roof rack, a tent. Like I'll throw everything everywhere.
Yeah.
What is your perspective? This interesting perspective. Like, what is your personal perspective on like gear? Like, are you more of a minimalist or like that?
Yeah.
Or just go nuts.
I appreciate everyone that has always been like, have a roster of all, these are all the things that I think I might need. And I've always been of the mindset that I'm going to go out and see exactly what I need and then build a kit based off that. And I don't want to carry too much stuff around. I hate squeaks. I hate rattles. I hate heavy things.
Yes.
And having a gas V8 truck, I have my fuel economy thing on the dash up all the time.
Cool.
And I'm staring at it constantly because if it goes below 11, I start crying.
Right. Which is true. Like you got to think about that.
Yeah.
So kind of in the middle, kind of see what you need approach.
Yeah.
Which I like that.
And it's not a standard kit for everybody. Everyone is out doing their own different thing and has different needs and responsibilities they have to take care of. Like my daughter never comes with me. She doesn't like to go do that stuff. So I don't need to worry about that kind of stuff.
Yet.
How
old is she?
She's 8.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you taken her on a trip though yet?
No, I want to, but it hasn't always worked out in the right way just because of time.
Yeah. That'll be fun though to see if she starts digging it.
Yeah, I think
she
will
ease her into it.
We go hiking a lot, but the road trip thing hasn't really solidified yet.
But that's how it starts. Start small.
Yeah.
So what is your advice for someone that wants to start adventuring? They just bought a Jeep Tacoma vintage 4x4, whatever. Kind of what is your
just go.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, like I started a policy on the Forge Overland account that I wasn't going to geotag anything anymore. And it wasn't an issue of people are ruining things or stuff is getting messed up or whatever. The whole point of this sport is to get out and find something new for yourself. And what fun is it for someone if I give everything to you?
That's right.
We're trying to get out there and find something that we haven't ever seen before.
I appreciate that because I'm actually the guy that's like, I'm busy and I'm like, I just want to download some coordinates and go instead of like saying, let's just aspire to reach this place and figure out how to do it.
Like, and I don't necessarily mind people giving out like trail maps. Like this is a designated trail that you ride on because that's great.
That is good.
You want to make sure that you're being responsible about what you're doing and that generations that come after us have access to that stuff as well.
That's right.
But if there's secret spots or something like that, it's not my responsibility. It's not my. I should
get out there and find them.
I like that. I like that
because everyone has something that they like about something.
Cool.
Someone might not like some spot in Yosemite or whatever.
Right.
So.
Okay. Any as we're wrapping up this mini episode, 15 minutes already in, which has been great. It's gone by fast. What you got any trips planned for this summer?
Nothing set in stone yet, but I'm gonna try and do as much as I can in the Midwest this year.
Yeah. Will, you live in Kentucky?
Yeah, I do.
So Louisville.
Yeah, say like marbles in your mouth.
Okay. Is that how you used to not Louisville?
Yeah.
So because that's something that we talk about, like the Northwoods of Wisconsin, one of our favorite places. It's so beautiful up there. But we need people like you and people like us, frankly, to like develop stuff in the Midwest because like there's so many people that are interested and they feel like they have to go to Colorado or have to go.
It's really easy to see all the photos of just the vast openness of the West.
The West, that's right.
Like for me, I love trees. Trees are fantastic. I love forests and everything. And there's quite a few old growth forests that were never tapped by the foresters. In Kentucky, in the Midwest, everything.
Yeah, Kentucky's a cool state.
And so I'm going to make it a goal this year. I'm going to go find all of them.
Great.
Yeah.
I love it. And not share.
Not geotag.
Not geotag.
They're not hard to find.
That's great. Well,
you hit them up on Forge Overland. Maybe he'll give you a little.
So what are ways people can keep up to date with you and follow you?
Just on the Forge Overland account and, stories, posts, everything like that. Active every day except for Sunday.
Cool.
And that's Instagram?
Yep, Instagram.
At Forge Overland.
And is that your primary? I like that. One thing I like about Forge Overland is like you show like cool homes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variety.
I try and cater to the entire adventure mindset.
Yes.
Like it doesn't have to be vehicles going out into the vast unknown. It's everything that gets you out of your daily grind.
I love it. So you heard it from Will. Just go, man.
Just go.
Just get a basic rig, even if it's 2-wheel drive, man. Just go get out and go.
Toyota Tercel.
That's
what you need, man. Ford Probe
or Chrysler Laser.
What's
85 turbo.
Yeah, what do you think about 80s turbo? Not to go too long. Real quick, what's your opinion on 80s turbo cars?
I think they're the best thing ever.
This guy, I love this guy. Yeah, so we're going to keep pumping that up. I do have an announcement to make. I'll make it on this Mini. I did just acquire a new 1985 original driver condition, if you listen to our Buying a Vintage 4x4. 85 Chrysler Laser Turbo.
They're getting hot, man.
XE.
Get them while you can.
Yes, they're going to be hot.
I think these obscure sports cars from the 80s are going to be the next thing.
Because they're just so terrible. They're awesome.
Yeah.
It's got like the
Sean's
sweet
banking
wheels.
on.
Yeah, so... And we're gonna do we want it to be experiential. So like, what I want to do, my goal is like get the cars all tuned up, have like 4 or 5 of them, and then just have like days where people can come take them for test drives and just like kind of appreciate them and feel how awesome like the Chrysler Laser. What it's kind of most famous for is like the computer, the voice computer. So it's like, please close the door. Please close.
Does it have one of those sliding seat belts in it?
I don't know. The Probe does.
Oh,
but
man.
Anyway, Will, thank
All
you
right.
so much
Absolutely.
for being on the show, and
Thanks for having
go
me.
out and follow
We'll have
Forge
to
Overland.
swing down to Louisville, do another one sometime.
Yeah.
It's about 7 hours from us, so
You could show us some of those secret fire roads.
Okay.
that's good.
We'll do the Bourbon Trail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So until next time, thanks a lot. See you later.
See ya.